My name is Elena, and I am 17 years old. Please listen to my story completely, because sometimes the smallest memory, like a broken photograph, can change an entire life. It was raining that morning. The sound of the rain hitting the old tin roof of our small house in the countryside felt like music to me. I woke up early, just like every day, because I had to help my grandmother make breakfast. She always said, "Elena dear, mornings are a gift. Start them with love." Her voice was soft, slow, full of kindness. I smiled, rubbed my sleepy eyes, and went to the kitchen. The smell of boiling tea filled the air. My grandmother, Maria, was standing near the window. She was looking outside, watching the rain fall on the small garden she loved so much. I walked to her and hugged her from behind. "Good morning, Grandma," I said softly. She turned, smiled, and touched my face. "Good morning, my little sunshine. Did you sleep well?" "Yes, but I had a strange dream again." "About your mother?" she asked gently. I nodded. You see, my mother had gone away many years ago. I was only 6. One day, she hugged me tightly, kissed my forehead, and said, "Elena, remember, I love you more than anything." Then she left the house. She said she would come back soon, but she never did. That morning, as I helped my grandmother pour tea into 2 old cups, I noticed something on the table. It was an old photograph frame. Inside it, there was a picture of my mother holding me as a baby. But the glass of the frame was cracked right through the middle, cutting her face in half. "Grandma," I said quietly, "why is this photograph broken?" My grandmother looked at it for a moment. Her eyes turned sad, full of something she didn't want to say. "It broke years ago," she whispered. "It fell when a storm hit our house. I tried to fix it, but you kept it," I said. "Yes," she smiled weakly, "because even broken memories can be beautiful." Those words stayed with me. Even broken memories can be beautiful. Later that day, after breakfast, I went to my small wooden box where I kept all my treasures: small letters, tiny shells, and a ribbon from my mother. I opened it and placed the broken photograph inside. I touched the cracked glass gently and said, "One day I'll find her. I'll give her this picture. Maybe she still keeps one half of it too." Grandma heard me and walked into the room. "Elena," she said kindly, "the world is big and life can be hard. But if you keep love in your heart, you can find anyone, even someone lost." I smiled. "Then I'll find her, Grandma. I promise." Years passed slowly. I grew up helping Grandma in the garden, cooking, reading, and writing letters I never sent. I always wrote letters to my mother, telling her about my life, my school, and my dreams. When I turned 16, I found a job in the small town nearby. I worked in a cafe. It was a simple place: white walls, small tables, and the smell of fresh coffee all day. I liked it. The people were kind. One day, while cleaning a table, I saw a woman sitting alone near the window. She looked tired, her hands shaking slightly as she held her cup. She had deep eyes, sad but familiar. For a moment, my heart beat fast. Something about her reminded me of my mother. "Would you like some more tea, ma'am?" I asked politely. She looked up. Her eyes met mine. There was silence. Then she smiled softly. "No, thank you, but you have very kind eyes," she said. "Thank you," I whispered. As she left, she dropped something, a small envelope. I picked it up and ran outside. "Excuse me, you dropped this." But she was already gone. I opened the envelope. Inside, there was an old letter, yellow with age. On the back of it, a name was written, Clara Rivera. That was my mother's name. My hands began to shake. I couldn't breathe for a moment. Was it possible? Could she be the one? I ran back inside, told my boss I was feeling sick, and went home immediately. "Grandma!" I cried, opening the door. "Look!" She read the name on the envelope, and her face turned pale. "Clara. Oh my God, Elena. Where did you find this?" "At the cafe. A woman dropped it. She looked so much like her." I was alone and ashamed to return with nothing. Tell my daughter I never stopped thinking of her. Tell her I still keep our photograph, the one that broke the day I left. Maybe one day she'll find me, or maybe God will bring me back to her. Love, Clara. I felt like the world stopped moving. Tears rolled down my face. "She still has the other half," I whispered. Grandma held my hands tightly. "Elena, maybe it's time we go to the city. We'll find her." That night, I couldn't sleep. I looked at the broken photograph again and said, "Tomorrow, I start the journey." The next morning, I packed a small bag, took the photograph, and took the old bus to the city. The road was long, filled with hills, forests, and rain. Every moment, I imagined my mother's face. When I reached the city, everything felt strange. Big buildings, lights, noise. It was so different from my small town. I didn't know where to start. I only had the name from the letter. Clara Rivera. I walked from street to street, showing the letter to shopkeepers, old people, anyone who might know her. Most said they didn't. Some shook their heads kindly. But I didn't stop. Days passed. My money finished. I started sleeping in a small women's shelter. The lady who ran it was kind. Her name was Sophia. "Why are you here, dear?" she asked one evening. "I'm looking for my mother," I said quietly. "She's somewhere in this city. I know it." Sophia smiled sadly. "Many people are lost here, child, but sometimes love brings them together again." She let me help in the shelter kitchen. In return, I got food and a small bed. I kept searching every day. One afternoon, Sophia called me. "Elena," she said softly, "come here. There's someone you should meet." In the small room, there was a woman sitting by the window. Her hair was gray now, her face thin, her hands shaking, but her eyes were the same as mine. I froze. My heart stopped for a second. "Clara," Sophia said gently, "this is Elena." The woman turned. Tears filled her eyes instantly. She stood up slowly and whispered, "Elena?" "Mother?" I said, my voice breaking. She ran to me and hugged me tightly, crying like a child. "My baby, my little girl, I thought I lost you forever." I held her and whispered, "I found you, Mama. I told Grandma I would." She touched my face with trembling fingers. "You look just like her, just like my mother. Oh, how much I missed you." We cried for a long time. The broken years, the lost letters, the silence, it all came out in that hug. Then I took out the photograph. "Look," I said. "This was in Grandma's house. The glass broke, but I kept it." Her eyes widened. She reached into her old bag and took out another half of the same photograph, torn from the other side. We placed them together. They matched perfectly. The crack ran right between us, but when the pieces touched, it looked whole again. She smiled through her tears. "Even broken things can become beautiful again," she said. The same words Grandma once told me. We stayed together in the shelter for some time. I brought her home later, back to our small town. When Grandma saw her daughter walk through the door after 15 years, She couldn't believe her eyes. She cried, held her, and whispered, God kept his promise. That evening, the three of us sat together in the garden. The rain fell again, just like that morning years ago. The smell of wet earth, the sound of thunder, it all felt like life had come full circle. I looked at the two women I loved most, one who raised me, one who gave me life, and I felt peace. My mother said, Elena, sometimes we break things, we make mistakes, we run away, but love always finds a way to fix them. I smiled. Yes, Mama, even broken photographs. From that day, we kept the joined photograph in a new frame, not to hide the crack, but to remember it, because the crack told a story of pain, forgiveness, and love. Many years later, when people came to our home, they often asked, "Why do you keep a broken picture?" And I always said, because it reminds us that broken things can still shine if you hold them with love. The photograph still sits on our table. Sometimes when the rain falls, I sit beside it, close my eyes, and whisper, "Thank you, life. You broke us so that we could find each other again." And that is my story, the story of the broken photograph that became whole again. If you enjoy this story, please like, subscribe, and comment to support more free English learning videos. Did you enjoy today's story? Write one sentence in English using today's new vocabulary. Don't forget to subscribe for more stories every day.